Welcome back to Primetime Sports Tuesday. There are concerns that the Jamaica Intercollegiate Athletics Championships have fallen off, with less institutions competing in addition to the competition now being held over just one day. Some stakeholders are proposing a return to a multi-day event while offering suggestions for improvement.
The thinking among stakeholders is to return Intercol athletics to its glory days, where the athletes were among some of the best emerging talents to the national program, and there were benefits involved.
It was Intercol that provided the basis for most of our senior athletes in the 60s, the 70s, and even up to the 80s while I was a student.
In the early days of Intercol, when I just started working here at GC Foster, we would have had the best performers, getting scholarships and so forth. We haven't had that in a while, and I think it is high time for us to sit at the table and see how Best Corporate Jamaica can come in and assist. But remember, Julian Forth was one of those scholarship recipients in the past. Elaine Thompson-Era, I think, was also one of those persons, if my memory serves right. And there were quite a few others.
However, it does take cash to care.
Sponsorship and all of these things play a key role to help to grow school programs and also sponsoring the event. We have some sponsors who came out. We are very grateful for those. But I think for it to really grow, we really need to shoot for something even bigger than champs.
There is a need, stakeholders say, to return the championships to at least a two-day event.
The truth is the number of participating institutions has fallen. We have to find a way to see how we can have most of the institutions return to Intercol, and so therefore it would allow the organizing members of the organizing committee to return to at least a two-day format.
I think based on the number of youngsters who are currently opting to stay in Jamaica from our very popular high school championships, I think the quality and the quantity of the intercollegiate competitive athletes have risen, and as a result, I think it's almost a fallacy to be having a one-day championship for these youngsters.
It's been one day since COVID. I mean, we haven't gone back to 2 days since we held it in 2021. So next year we'll look at that. But it's really for student athletes in the tertiary institutions across Jamaica to get a chance to compete. Some of them might not have done it in high school, and so this is their chance.
We do exceptionally well at the ISA Boys and Girls Championship, but the local transition for intercollegiate championship, I think it's something that we really need to look at, because there are still quite a few outstanding student athletes who are not just competing for clubs, but they are also getting an education just as those who would have gone abroad.
And there are suggestions of improvements going forward.
One of the things I think right across the board we have to try to do for intercol sport, and sometimes the level of competition that you get is really to improve the quality competition, similar to what happens at the NCAA, for us to start to have better performances across the event.
And hopefully as well, they will recognize the value of intercollegiate track and field to our country's senior athletics, and even move it to a more neutral ground like the National Stadium. But these are just pipe dreams, and if they see things that way, then we'd love to see it happen.
Denise Walters for TVJ Sports.
Head coach